The dragons Sauron might use with terrible effect. Often I said to myself, I must find some means of dealing with Smaug. But a direct stroke against Dol Guldur is needed still more. We must disturb Sauron's plans. I must make the council see that. With these words, Gandalf attempted to balance the fate of Middle-earth and the Free Peoples on the edge of a knife. Disturb the dragon, and the dark cloud of Dol Guldur goes unchecked. Directly attack the Hill of Sorcery, and Sauron might flee to win the dragon's allegiance and make an attack on the Northern Realms. Either way, Sauron would continue to work towards re-establishing the Kingdom of Angmar. A chance meeting between the would-be king under the mountain and the Grey Pilgrim settled the ominous issue. But what if Sauron had been able to ally with Smaug the Golden? Was it his own arrogance that caused the dragon's death? Follow along as we dig into the deeper lore of Tolkien's Legendarium and show how Sauron's greatest mistake, considering himself the wisest and most cunning of beings, caused the downfall of the greatest remaining fire drake in Middle-earth. In the year 1050 of the Third Age, a shadow emerged from Greenwood the Great, stirring unease among the wise. They speculated that the Nazgul, ominous heralds of darkness, might be stirring amongst the ruins of the former Sylvan capital of Amon Lanc. As centuries passed, the hill became known as Dol Guldur, the Hill of Sorcery. Over a millennia later, the year 2060 of the Third Age heralded a resurgence of dark power emanating from Dol Guldur. The wise, ever watchful, feared the return of a familiar threat, Sauron, the Dark Lord whose influence still tainted the land. His presence, veiled beneath the guise of the Necromancer, hinted at a lingering shadow from the past. In the year 2063, Gandalf the Grey embarked on a perilous mission to confront the swelling darkness shrouding Dol Guldur. His encounter with the Necromancer proved decisive, forcing the Dark Lord to retreat to the east and ushering in a tenuous quietude known as the Watchful Peace. However, the respite was short-lived. In the year 2460 of the Third Age, the Watchful Peace shattered as Sauron, emboldened by his escape, returned to Dol Guldur with increased strength. His bold reappearance signaled a renewed threat to the Free Peoples of Middle-earth, prompting Gandalf to take heed of the looming danger. It was not long before the White Council convened in the year 2463 of the Third Age, uniting the powers of Middle-earth against the growing darkness. Yet, amidst the gathering storm, it was clear that the Necromancer's return marked a turning point in the struggle for the fate of the realm. During the Watchful Peace, a significant migration of dwarven communities passed the Grey Mountains. Nestled amidst two mountain chains, this rugged region hosted the desolate expanse known as the Withered Heath, a notorious breeding ground for dragons. Between the years of the Third Age, 2570 and 2589, tranquility in the region was crushed as dragons emerged from the Withered Heath, terrorizing both dwarves and men alike. This period of turmoil culminated in the tragic demise of King Dain I, leading to the abandonment of strongholds in the Grey Mountains. Consequently, Durin's folk sought refuge in Erebor once more, forsaking their ancestral homes in the wake of the dragon onslaught. However, peace remained elusive as the Third Age dawned in the year 2770. It was then that Smaug the Golden, acclaimed as the greatest fire drake of the north, launched a devastating attack on the Lonely Mountain and the prosperous city of Dale. This fiery raid resulted in widespread destruction and loss of life, with Smaug seizing control of the Dwarven Kingdom's vast treasures and asserting himself as a terrifying threat to the peace and prosperity of the North. As the years unfolded and Middle-earth grappled with the aftermath of Smaug's reign of terror, Gandalf, renowned for his wisdom and foresight, continued his vigilant expeditions to Dol Guldur. Through relentless research and careful observation, he pieced together the puzzle of the Dark Lord's resurgence, growing increasingly convinced that it was indeed Sauron who lurked within the shadowed fortress. Meanwhile, the surviving dwarves from Erebor, displaced by Smaug's wrath, sought refuge in far-flung lands. Many found solace in the rugged Iron Hills of the north, the Blue Mountains of the west, and eventually Dunland on the southwestern slopes of the Misty Mountains. In the year 2841 of the Third Age, Thrain II, inheritor of the last dwarven ring of power from his late father Thror, embarked on a fateful journey to revisit Erebor. However, his quest was fraught with peril, as he was relentlessly pursued by orc marauders. In the year 2845, Thrain was captured and imprisoned in the dark confines of Dol Guldur. Though his ring was seized by his captors, the invaluable map and key to the secret entrance of the Lonely Mountain remained hidden. It was not until the year 2850 that Gandalf returned to Dol Guldur, guided by a sense of urgency and determination. There, amidst the shadows and whispers of the ancient fortress, he encountered Thrain, a broken shell of his former self, consumed by madness and unable to recall even his own name or that of his son, Thorin II. Yet, in a moment of clarity, Thrain bestowed upon Gandalf the precious map and key to the secret entrance of the Lonely Mountain, items that would prove to be essential components in the quest to reclaim Erebor. Shortly thereafter, Thrain passed from the mortal realm, leaving Gandalf to confront the chilling reality of Sauron's presence within Dol Guldur. In the year 2851 of the Third Age, the White Council convened, drawing together the mightiest minds of Middle-earth in an essential moment of decision. Gandalf, driven by his unwavering resolve, urged his fellow council members to launch an assault on Dol Guldur, recognizing the imminent threat posed by the Dark Lord's growing power. However, his pleas fell on deaf ears as Saruman the White, secretly consumed by his own ambitions, dismissed the notion in pursuit of his own hidden agenda, the search for the elusive One Ring. Thus, the stage was set for a clash of ideologies, as the forces of light and darkness converged in a battle for the fate of Middle-earth, leaving Gandalf grappling with the weighty decision of how to address the looming threat of Sauron's growing power and the dormant peril nestled beneath the Lonely Mountain. As Gandalf grappled with Saruman's decision not to engage in an assault on Dol Guldur, he found himself pondering the broader implications of this strategic choice. We find in Tolkien's Unfinished Tales that a conversation took place in Minas Tirith between Frodo and Gandalf after the final fall of Sauron. In this conversation, Gandalf reveals the extent of Sauron's machinations that the wizard had guessed. The possibility of an attack on the Northern Realms was at the forefront of Gandalf's mind, as he tells Frodo, "The state of things in the north was very bad. The kingdom under the mountain and the strong men of Dale were no more. To resist any force that Sauron might send to regain the northern passes in the mountains and the old lands of Angmar, there were only the dwarves of the Iron Hills, and behind them lay a desolation and a dragon. The dragon Sauron might use with terrible effect. Often I said to myself, I must find some means of dealing with Smaug, but a direct stroke against Dol Guldur is needed still more. We must disturb Sauron's plans. I must make the council see that." While grappling with the dark dilemma of Sauron's resurgence and the looming threat of the dragon Smaug, Gandalf sought solace in the pastoral tranquility of the Shire. Hoping to set aside his concerns for a time, he embarked on a journey along the road, anticipating respite from the weighty matters that preoccupied his thoughts. Yet, even amidst the idyllic landscapes, Gandalf couldn't shake the complex web of events unfolding across Middle-earth. The specter of Sauron's resurgence and the looming threat posed by Smaug troubled his mind, serving as constant reminders of the perilous times in which they lived. Amidst this introspective journey, fate intervened in the form of a chance encounter with Thorin Oakenshield, heir to the throne of Erebor, on the road to Bree in the year 2941 of the Third Age. This fortuitous meeting provided Gandalf with an opportunity to engage the dwarf about the twin perils of Sauron's resurgence and the slumbering menace of Smaug. Motivated by a shared sense of responsibility, but diverging opinions on the appropriate course of action, Gandalf and Thorin spoke of strategies against the encroaching darkness threatening Middle-earth. While Thorin advocated for a military approach, Gandalf remained cautious and sought alternative solutions. Their differing perspectives eventually led to a parting of ways. In the peaceful serenity of the Shire, Gandalf sought out Bilbo, a hobbit friend of the Shire, known for his rather mysterious spirit and peculiar sense for adventure. However, Bilbo was nowhere to be found at his home in Bag End. Rumors whispered of his unusual behavior, disappearing for days and engaging in conversations with strangers, including dwarves. Upon hearing this, Gandalf's mind was immediately at ease. Recognizing the potential of a hobbit's unassuming nature in facing the dragon, Gandalf decided to enlist the daring hobbit's help in Thorin's quest to reclaim Erebor. With a sense of urgency, Gandalf hastened to meet with Thorin, determined to convince him to embark on the perilous quest. Gandalf's subsequent efforts to unite the White Council against Dol Guldur marked a crucial turning point. With firm resolve, he marshaled evidence and stressed the need for a united assault on the fortress, recognizing it as a hub of Sauron's influence. Reports from scouts, whispered tales from the shadows, and ancient lore all pointed to Dol Guldur as a focal point of dark power, drawing the attention of the wise. Meanwhile, Thorin's company at last embarked on the quest of Erebor, armed with Thrain's map and key, and accompanied by Bilbo. Their journey aligned with Gandalf's plan to simultaneously confront both Smaug and Sauron, a strategic move calculated to disrupt the Dark Lord's schemes. Gandalf keenly perceived Sauron's potential to exploit Smaug, a reflection of the Dark Lord's arrogance. The signs were there for those willing to see: whispers of shadowy alliances, the lands teeming with evil creatures, and the ominous presence emanating from Dol Guldur itself. Sauron's prideful oversight proved fatal, as Smaug's vulnerability became apparent to those involved in the quest of Erebor. The dragon's demise and the unraveling of Sauron's plans served as a stark reminder of the consequences of his pride. With the defeat of Smaug and the disruption of his plans in the north, Sauron retreated secretly to Mordor, a subtle shift in his tactics, suggesting a newfound caution. This strategic withdrawal hinted at lessons learned, a realization that future endeavors would require a more cunning approach, with greater emphasis on concealment and deceit. Sauron's haughtiness, manifested in his overreaching ambition and failure to consider that his plans could be unveiled, proved to be the downfall of both the Dark Lord himself and one of his greatest potential allies. The dragon's demise and the subsequent setbacks to Sauron's plans underscored the dangers of underestimating one's opponents and the folly of unchecked pride. As the shadows receded and Middle-earth stood poised on the brink of a new era, the echoes of the dragon's fall from glory served as a cautionary tale, a testament to the resilience of those who dared to defy the encroaching darkness. Tell us in the comments, what do you think was the biggest factor in the death of Smaug the Golden? Be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell to never miss another Tolkien adventure. Until next time, traveler.